You're watching Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. It is mailbag time. You have questions, I have answers. And these come from the live show that we do every Wednesday where we react to the questions people send in real time. They use the hashtag Seahawks. They super chat. It's a lot of fun. And you may be saying, how can I participate in the next mailbag? Well, subscribe and join the Noti gang. Turn on your notifications. Hit that Noti bell. That way you never miss a moment when we publish a video, when we go live, all of that, it's in one place. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. You can join us for our next live mailbag here on the channel. Let's begin with Dan, the man, Miller, with a $50 super chat. Bang! Dan the man says, this question about the Seahawks, one of their newest UDFAs, that being Chevan Cordeiro. He says, Cordeiro overtake Howell for number 2 and maybe take over as number 1 after Geno. Don't think so. I'd be very surprised. He'd have to show something that no one else has seen because he was not drafted for a reason, right? Sometimes teams get it wrong. Right? Like we saw Brock Purdy as the very last pick of the draft a couple of years ago. Tony Romo was a UDFA. But it's very rare. These teams are right more than not when it comes to these UDFAs. I would be very surprised. Wish him nothing but the best. But I'm not getting my hopes up that he's this guy the Seahawks found to be this franchise quarterback, if you will, as far as that goes. But we've seen some crazy stuff before. Dan the man, thanks for that super chat. Donald with a $2 super chat writes in, can we see a Legion of Boom 2.0 with Mike Macdonald? I think you will, and let me explain. The Seahawks made things very clear with Mike Macdonald as their new head coach, the mission that was ahead for this team. Mike Macdonald said that he wanted to come in and he wanted to build a wall with this defense and make opposing offenses pay for it, right? They want to win so much that you get bored of winning. You'll never get bored of winning. They have made that very clear, that it starts with the defensive unit, that's going to be the bread and butter of this team, that it's going to be the defense that drives them. And I don't expect this to be a top 10 defense in year one with Mike Macdonald as the head coach of this team, but I think you're going to see drastic improvements. You're going to see investments over the next several years in this defensive group going forward. And the end result, when that day comes, you're going to like what you see. And I think that we're talking about a great legacy. The next chapter of Seahawks football being a very good one, led by this defense. Chris Johnson, who is a first-time super chatter. Chris, much appreciated. We do the Seahawks chant for our first-time super chatter. So Big Tex is going to turn on his mic, and we'll do this after we answer the question. How much playing time will Sam Howell have this year? It really comes down to what happens with Geno. If Geno struggles, Sam Howell will get a shot. If Geno gets hurt, Sam Howell will get a shot. If the Seahawks are out of playoff contention and they want to see what Sam Howell can do, then he will get a shot. But certain things have to happen for him to get that chance. So I would expect to see him at some point this year, but I don't know how much we see him. I think it's too early to tell just yet. But Chris, thanks for being a first-time super chatter. Tex, get the chat started. Seahawks! 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 Let's go! Let's go, Chris. Spam Chris in the chat. Much appreciated. Thanks for sending that $10 super chat. Dan the man, the $5 super chat. Could Haynes and the vet, I'm having a brain fart here, be on the field at the same time? In fact, they will be, actually. What I would expect the Seahawks offensive line depth chart to look like is that we see Christian Haynes as the starting right guard and Laken Tomlinson as the starting left guard and Anthony Bradford as the backup, the guy competing for playing time with those. That's what I think is the most likely scenario, Dan the man, when it comes to this offensive line. I think it's going to be tremendously improved from what it was. I like Laken Tomlinson. Now, there is a chance that Laken Tomlinson looks old and maybe Anthony Bradford ends up taking that job at some point. But the most likely scenario is Tomlinson and Haynes holding things down. Simply Jack writes in, I know we didn't draft a safety. Any chance we could sign Justin Simmons? I would be surprised if the Seahawks signed Justin Simmons with the money that you're paying Julian Love, and you went out and signed Rayshon Jenkins, who I like a lot, coming over from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think you've kind of already spent your money. Not to mention you don't have much cap space at all right now to be paying free agents anyway. Justin Simmons is a good football player. It's not a knock on Justin Simmons at all, but it just doesn't really fit with the situation the Seahawks are in. If Simmons remains available and his price tag comes down and the Seahawks find some more money, maybe down the line that could be a possibility. But right now, I would be surprised. Should the Seahawks sign Justin Simmons? What do you guys think? Y for yes, N for no. Weigh in the comment section. Tell us what you think if Justin Simmons should be a Seahawk or not. Next one. What does the situation look like at guard? Any chance we could sign Connor Williams? So kind of like what we just talked about there, the guard situation. Tomlinson will likely start at left guard, and Haynes start at right guard. Connor Williams, he can be a guard. He can be a center. Most recently, he was a center with the Miami Dolphins. He was the highest graded center in the NFL according to PFF this past season. He's a very good football player, but his price tag is way out of the Seahawks market. One possibility I could see as far as Connor Williams goes, if he's still available, and if there's an injury, if Olu gets hurt or doesn't look very good, if one of these guys goes down, Connor Williams would be my first phone call to get here and get to Seattle and make an improvement. But right now, I think they're going to roll with what they got. I think you're going to like what you see out of Christian Haynes as well, but I don't think Connor Williams is coming to Seattle at this point in time. Should the Seahawks sign Connor Williams? What do you think? S for sign, P for pass. Weigh in the comment section. Let us know if you'd like to see Connor Williams in Seattle. Byron Murphy jerseys are on sale now. Chatsports.com/Murphy is where you can get them, as we have the home jerseys, the road jerseys, and more, men's jerseys, women's jerseys, all different shapes and sizes. Get yours now, chatsports.com/Murphy. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. He's going to wear the number 91. That'll be the jersey you get. Get yours today and be rocking with Byron Murphy. I'm excited to have him on board. Should be a lot of fun. Got time for about two more questions here. Seahawks fan 8181 writes, I don't know if this is true, but heard that Tua's brother went to our training camp. If he did, do you think he will get signed? So he went to rookie minicamp, and it didn't go great for him. The Seahawks, remember, they invited him. They didn't sign him as a UDFA, and he didn't get signed. In fact, he's at Cardinals rookie minicamp this weekend as a result of not getting signed by Seattle. So that ship has sailed, if you will. They won't be bringing him in. I mean, to put it simply, he's not that talented of a quarterback, if I'm going to be honest with you. He's not that guy. I'm not losing sleep over the Seahawks passing on Talia Tagovailoa. I think they'll be okay. Last question. Elona writes in, #Seahawks. Hopefully we have a great season in 2024. What do we do to win the division? We haven't won the division since 2020. Hopefully this season will be ours. I'm hoping so too. This division's going to be tough, though. It is going to be brutal. Damn brutal. Shout out Big Tex. Because the Niners aren't going anywhere. The Rams are going to be good again. I like what the Rams have done this offseason. Even with losing Aaron Donald, the Rams are still a good football team. The Cardinals are going to be improved. They had one of the best drafts of any team in the league. Seahawks got their work cut out for them when it comes to this division. Can they win it? Yes, but they're going to have to catch a few breaks. And a lot of stuff is going to have to go their way. But it's not impossible. Can it be done? Yes. Will it be done? I lean towards no right now. But maybe Mike Macdonald can prove me wrong. Certainly hope it happens. We'll see. Subscribe now to Seahawks Today. Never miss a moment. Appreciate you guys spending your day with us here on the channel. Subscribe now. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today.